chain drives, where an intermediate link like a belt or chain is needed to connect the driven wheel with the driving wheel. Okay, so there is no requirement for uh, intermediate link for the case of gear drives. Okay, gears are transmitting uh, po- power from one wheel to another wheel by means of positive contact. Okay, by means of the positive contact, the gears are transmitting power. Okay, so this figure shows a drive of an say tractor. Okay, so in tractor you need to have the wheels to be rotated in a different speed. So for that you need these kind of gear arrangements. Okay, so wherever you have the power transmission in a positive way, you need to have these gear drives. Okay, so when it comes to the advantages part of these gear drives, so these are compact than the belt or chain drives. Okay, so it needs lesser spaces only. Okay, so gear drives are having high efficiencies. Okay, so efficiencies in the sense there is a minimum loss of power during transmission, and they have very long service life and high reliability as well. Okay, so the service life is long and reliability is also higher, whereas the belts and chains are having wear and tear problem more than the gear drives. Okay, so the gear drives can transmit uh, more power than the power drives. Okay, and they have a greater range of speed ratios also. Okay, so the speed ratio is nothing but at what uh, ratio you need to transmit power from one shaft to another shaft. Okay, and they have the constant speed ratio owing to the absence of slipping. Okay, so there is no slippages of intermediate links. Since there is no intermediate link, there is no slippages, so they have the constant speed ratio. And the metal gears do not deteriorate with the age, heat, or oil. Okay, so they will not deteriorate during due to these conditions. Okay, and it has also certain disadvantages when compared to the flexible element drives. So design and manufacturing of gears is complicated. Okay, so manufacturing of gears is a complicated one than the manufacturing of pulleys or belt drives. Okay, and it produces certain noises at the higher velocities. So at the high speed it produces some noises. Okay, and for long center distance, power transmission gears cannot be operated. So that is also one of its disadvantage. Okay, so what are all the advantages in flexible element drive? So these are all disadvantages in gear drives as well. Okay, and they require careful maintenance and proper lubrication. So you know that the gears are always immersed in oil. Okay, so in gearbox you have a casing, and the um, gears, all the gears are immersed in oil, so that it has a proper lubrication and it is maintained for a longer service life. Okay, and then it comes the classification, how we classify the gears. Okay, so generally the gears will be looking like this. Okay, so you based on the nature of arrangement of teeth are based on the position of the gears. So the gears are classified in a different way. So first of all, based on the position of the gear shaft. Okay, so if the shafts of the two gears are parallel, then it is called as a parallel spur gear, parallel helical gear, and parallel herringbone gears. Okay, so in those cases, the shafts are having parallel axis with each other. So the next one, intersecting gears, so like bevel gears, straight and spiral bevel gears. So bevel gears, the axis is perpendicular to each other. So the third category is the non-intersecting and non-parallel cross helical. Crossed helical gears will be there. Neither axes are parallel nor intersecting, The last category is the worm gears. So in worm gears, you have the hypoid gear, spheroid gear, planoid gear, beveloid gear, helicon gear, so phase gears. So these are all the classification based on the position of the gear shaft. Okay. So in general, you have four kind of gears: spur gear, helical gear, bevel gear, worm gear. These four gears are in general called, but based on the arrangement, it may be called like this. Okay. So the next one, based on the type of engagement, either the gears are engaging externally or internally, or like a rack and pinion. Okay. So this is the internal gear, and this is the external gear. Okay. And the based on the position of the teeth on wheel rim. So here you have a wheel axis, and here teeth are parallel to the wheel axis. Okay, so the first one is the teeth parallel to the per second. For medium speed gears classification, the velocity range falls between 3 to 15 meter per second. For high speed gears, it is greater than 15-meter per second. So this is the these are all the classification based on the peripheral speed of the gears. Okay. Next, based on the profile, the teeth profile, it may be classified as the involute profile or cycloidal profile. Okay. So based on the pressure angle, so it may be further classified as gear with 20-degree pressure angle and gears with 14.5-degree pressure angle. So based on the tooth height or working depth, so it may be classified as full depth gears and stub gears. So these are all the some of the gears commercially available and commercially used. Okay, and this is the spur gear. This is the helical gear. Here teeth are parallel, and this is a worm gear. So in worm gear, the driven part is called as a worm gear. Driving part is called as a worm, and this is exaggerated worm, and this is a rack and pinion. Okay, so in some cases the rotary movement needs to be converted into linear movement. In those cases the rack and pinion is used. Okay, and here you have a compound gear. Okay, compound gear in the sense more than one type of teeth, or so more here and two teeth are having, or two wheels are having different diameter. That is what the compound gear. And this is a straight bevel gear. So bevel gears are used to transmit power at right angle to each other, particularly in the crown and all. No, so there you have the bevel gears used for transmitting power. And the next category is the mitre gears. So mitre so here you have a pinion and gear. Driving member is called as a pinion. Drive Driving wheels are called as a pinion. Driven wheels are called as gear. Okay, here two teeth are having contact with each other. So in the power transmission, so this will be the uh, uh, point of contact. If you take what do you call spur gear, this will be the point of contact. So this will be the uh, uh, like a line. Okay, and in two gears, so you have certain reference circles. Okay, so the first, this is the base circle, and this is the pitch circle, this is the pitch circle, and this is the addendum circle. Okay, so this is the base circle, redundant circle. So redundant circle is related with the root diameter. Addendum circle is related with the tip diameter, and pitch circle is the in between the addendum and dedendum. Okay, and yeah, gear wheel is generally represented by this pitch circle, and you have